Namaste everyone here at booktube. Welcome to my channel Hamsavahini Vajra Astra. I'm Ahuna. Today's video is going to be about a book review on one of the books which I have recently read in the month of September, and the book which I'm going to talk about today is The Mermaid's Herb, which has been written by Shona Gupta. Now, I read this book in the month of September, and immediately after completing this book I have penned down some of my thoughts in a few pages which I'll be referring to from here on. Now, the genre that this book can be categorized under is middle grade fantasy fiction. Now, the interesting thing about this is that the author of this book is Shona Gupta. Now, Shona Gupta published this book in the year of 2019, which is just last year, and she was just 12 years old and a middle grader herself. So this is a book which has been written by a middle grader for a middle grader, and it's absolutely fantastic. I really loved the story and the plot and the way that this book has been presented. So I arrived at this book while participating in two readathons which were held in the month of September 2020, which was last month, on booktube, and for both the readathons I did read this book, so it was a common book so as to speak. And the first readathon was A Touch of Whimsy Adventures through Wonderland, and this was inspired by the book Alice in Wonderland, which is a children's classic, and it has been written by C.S. Lewis. So the hosts for this wonderful readathon were Kalyn from KalynAbridged, Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin, JD from Jadeyraereads, and Alexa from Alexandra Roselyn. Now, each of these hosts represented a particular character. For example, we had Kalyn, who was representing Alice, Gavin, who was representing the White Rabbit, Jadeyraereads, or JD, was representing the Queen of Hearts, as well as Alexa, or from Alexandra Roselyn, was representing the Mad Hatter. So their videos, the announcement videos, were wonderfully creative, and I've posted a link in the description box below of the announcement videos, so please check their videos. They are absolutely wonderful. The next readathon which I did participate in, it was Magical September, and I've posted a link to its announcement videos in the description box below. So in case if you're curious, do please click on the links. It will take you straight to their respective videos. Now, let's arrive at the plot of this book. Now, the plot revolves around an 11-year-old boy from Nairobi called WSS. Now, I know this sounds a little different, but WSS stands for Waste Segregation Servant, as he was known by the people of Georgetown, where he resides. His parents disappeared and probably died on a mission, as his parents were scientists, leaving WSS an orphan at a very young age without a name. Now, WSS works for garbage segregation handling at his own home, which he has converted into waste segregation headquarters for Georgetown, and people know him and help him a lot in his work. WSS, however, has magical powers which he was blessed with by a secret magical creature which he uses to bring about good in this world by helping people. One fine Christmas morning, WSS receives a letter from someone called Bella, along with his other Christmas presents from the townsfolk of Georgetown, which also asks him to meet Bella at the outskirts of the town, which a curious WSS readily agrees to. On reaching the outskirts, WSS spots a young green dinosaur of the Brachiosaurus species, which leaves him dumbfounded. Yet, due to his magical powers, he can understand the dinosaur's language. They spend the day together in a nearby wood and grow fond of each other, and WSS finally takes Bella, the dinosaur, to live with him by reducing her to the size of a toy so that she may remain concealed. Shortly after this, WSS curiosity takes over, and he learns how Bella came about to survive, even at this age when the species of dinosaurs are extinct. Bella narrates her story. She's from the Mesozoic age, when dinosaurs were an advanced civilization like the human civilization and today, and they had developed advanced techniques of creating a habitable environment deep down in the Earth's reservoir for sustenance and better adaptability of unhatched dinosaur eggs. Just before the extinction during the Mesozoic age, Bella, who was still an unhatched egg, was hidden away by her dinosaur mother and to keep the egg safe, and this was somewhere in the Sahara region. A decade ago, a few archaeologists drilled a hole reaching the reservoir containing the egg, and due to exposure to air, the egg hatched, and out came Bella, who was immediately sent off to a bunch of zoologists in Tanzania for research and study. Bella, after a decade, managed to escape and has been on her own. Now, WSS connects to her story immediately, as he is an orphan too and shares a life secret with Bella, and they both grow close to each other and fond of each other. However, their life is interrupted by a young girl called Grace, who visits WSS seeking help. Now, Grace shares a story with WSS about her parents getting kidnapped by a mad scientist who wants to conduct experiments in bringing the dead to life and is almost mentally obsessed with this mission. WSS immediately identifies that this mad scientist needs to be healed first, and then the kidnapped people need to be released, and he instinctively mentions about the Mermaid's herb, which is a magical herb which has both healing properties as well as rejuvenating properties, that is, to bring back the dead to life. After introducing Bella to Grace, the trio finally pack up and leave for the Arctic mountains, where the Mermaid's herb is found, and on their way, they meet another boy from Norway called Parker, whose sister has been captured by the same mad, mission-obsessed scientist. After much hesitation, Parker's mother permits him to depart for his search for his younger sister, along with the trio. In fact, the duo, because Bella is actually hidden and reduced to a toy size with WSS. So Parker's mother only sees WSS as well as Grace. So Grace and WSS are joined by Parker, and Parker is finally introduced to Bella, so they become a quadro. Now, this quadro reaches the Arctic mountains and spreads out to hunt for the Mermaid's herb, but they meet with an accident, unfortunately, and find themselves in a different world and a different realm, which is absolutely parallel to the Earth, and this is called Pendura, the land of penguins and dinosaurs, where both penguins and dinosaurs are talking and managing everything. So, will WSS be able to find out this magical herb and help Grace and Parker to rescue their respective families from this mad scientist? How does the Mermaid's herb help them to heal this mad scientist? What do they find in Pendura? Are there any clues which they find to this mystery of the mad scientist and the mission which he is involved in? And how do they escape, or how do they come out of Pendura, and how do they end up in Pendura in the first case? So these are some of the questions which will intrigue you, and in order to find the answers to these questions, please read this wonderful story, The Mermaid's Herb. Now, the striking features of this book, in my opinion, were the characters have an independent charisma about them. It also reflects on how beautifully they coerce together despite the differences. Now, a very important aspect of the story is that the story explores the possibility of mythological beings called the Nagas as being the dinosaurs we know of today. It is a fair chance of possibility that what we know about the dinosaurs being beast-like species, as always, living on this planet, could actually be wrong. And instead, they may be intelligent reptile beings belonging to an advanced cultural civilization who adapted to Earth, but those who explored, they not only adapted to Earth, but they also explored their divinities, because in actuality, in history, there are divine beings called Nagas who were almost, in their divine beings, they looked like half human and half serpentine beings. However, in their actual human adaptation of these species, they probably, or they are rumored in history to look like almost like lizards. So it could be a possibility that the intelligent part of the species, which we call as talking dinosaurs could be actually the Nagas, and they had lizard-like features. So, but they were extremely advanced, and they form and their divinity forms the basis of, or they become a major part of major religions such as Buddhism, Jainism, and Hinduism today. And they were probably called the dragon beings, the dragon lords, in their days. Of course, they're extinct now. It is rumored, as per the spiritual mythologies or folk tales, that they have retired from this world and they live in a parallel dimension, but it could just be a possibility. So who knows, that could just be a creative idea. So the language of this book is lucid, and it has a beautiful flow to the story. It's very well written. My favorite character in this book has been WSS. The rating which I would give this book, in my opinion, should be 4 and 5. And this book has beautiful illustrations. Let me just show you. Just give me a moment. I'll just show you one of the illustrations which I really liked. Here, this is Bella, and this is WSS. So this is the first time that Bella knocks on the door of WSS, when she comes almost in tears because of in search of help, because it is rumored that WSS has magical powers, and he can actually help Grace to find her parents. This is when WSS reduces Bella to a toy size to conceal her, and along with Grace, they set out from Nairobi to the Arctic regions in search of the magical herb. And there are other illustrations, of course, and they are actually beautiful. And this is another illustration which I really like. Now, I'm not going to tell you about this one, but you'll have to read this book, and it's really very well written, and the illustrations heighten the reading experience and very well sketched. So those would be some of my thoughts on this particular book, which is The Mermaid's Herb, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. In case if you read this book, do please post your comments or your views in the description box in the comment section below about this particular book, or you can make a video response to this particular video stating your views. And with this, I will be wrapping up this video. I'll meet you soon in another video. Till then, take care, have a good reading week ahead, and namaste.